In the old days, if you're curious, I'll tell you how did they come over in America in wagons and make soap in the middle of the desert? And you can do this if you're on Survivor. This is cool. So when you're on Survivor, out there and you catch a fish and you're trying to survive, and you put it in your frying pan and you cook that baby up, and how do you clean it so it'll be nice? Well, there's grease in the pan. You grab ashes. Ashes are called potash, which is alkaline. It has a pH of greater than 7. It's lye. Grab some, throw it in the pan, get some water, stir it around, put it on the fire, kind of mix it up really cool. Camera's got good camera time, get a little face time, stir it around, rinse it off, hang it up to dry. See? You just got 5-6 minutes of Survivor, and hopefully you get immunity. I don't know. Or you can go, Alex Trebet 500, how much for making soap? Where do we get the lye? And 500, you win Super Jeopardy. But that's how it's done. They would take the ashes and soak them in water, and it would drip into a bucket.
But some products have USDA.
Yeah, organic.
Yeah, but how
to get a certified organic,
how do you get that?
you can. To be a certified organic, I have to have certification as a manufacturer that I'm using. I'm the manufacturer, so I'm going to sell it to you. And it says USDA approved certified organic. That means I also have to buy it from a certified organic distributor, who in turn has to buy it from a certified organic manufacturer, producer, or farmer, who has actually certified with the state of California again that the farm crop that he's getting his product from is separate from any other farm anywhere around it, and that is organically grown, organically harvested, and organically made. And it has to follow those steps. California gives a license for that. So everybody pays a fee. Number one, I'm too cheap to pay a fee. I don't care.
Any ratio is okay. Any ratio?
Oh, it doesn't matter if you put in, a pint or a gallon. It doesn't matter what it is.
1% of that.
It doesn't matter. As long as you follow all the steps, everybody pays the fee to the state of California, it's certified organic. The new question now is it GMO, genetically modified organic? Because now the question is even though it may come as a great corn or wheat or soy, was the seed invented by Monsanto, which is genetically modifying everything for greater yields? And now the organic people are kind of fighting with the organic people by going, well, it's organic, but it's not nature's organic because it wasn't the original seed before Monsanto modified the genetic structure of the product, and therefore it's really not true organic. You're getting too many seeds for the price of what it is, but those organic products are expensive as heck, for true organics. It's insane. That's why I make my own green tea, because if I buy it from one of the companies out here, they want to charge me $90 a pound for something that, what do I ask them they do? They go get green tea in bulk, put it in their coffee pot or big kettle, stew it up, and fill up bottles with it and charge me $90 a gallon. I go, that's crazy. I can put it in my coffee pot and do the same thing, but it's still green tea. But what I get nervous about, and something to consider when you see organics, you are organic also. You're human.
Yeah.
Problem is how do I know as a manufacturer what you may be allergic to? Which is why I like stuff that just cleans. My son is allergic to interesting things like tomatoes, soy, and lavender. Don't ask me why. So when I see people with lavender perfume in their product, it just makes him crazy. My wife has soy, but not to the same effect. So when she go out, anything with tofu or you edamame, she sneezes for hours. It's the funniest thing to watch her sneeze. So if I put soy in my products, my wife will have an allergic reaction. So we have to be very careful, because oftentimes the allergies that you have, you may be allergic to, lizard nerve or pumpkin puck or something that somebody may want that you think is great, that is good for wrinkles and toning. And this poor person over here is, geez, I got a headache today. I'm not feeling good. I'm out of sorts. My stomach is upset. I don't have any energy. All these little nuances that just happen in everybody's life, and you just write it off as, I just didn't feel good when I woke up today. And those are tough because what do you attribute it to? California, by the way, has now required us manufacturers to determine what we may think, we're all trying to figure out how to do this law, may be a health issue, and then warn you about, by the way, this has lavender. And you're going, but I'm trying to sell lavender, and I'm trying to say, well, I have to put a warning on my MSD sheet because of Prop 65 that says, well, 1 in 27 of you will have an allergic reaction to lavender. Well, you don't want to hear that if you're selling a shampoo. You go, well, 1 out of 27? That may scare 15 other people because I don't know if I'm allergic to that. And that's the part that's scary, because what we're trying to do here is, number one thing, you're supposed to be doing hair. Worrying about the chemical makedown of the shampoo, pick something that's clean, pick something that works, get the client in, get the client out, make a lot of money. Most of my customers here that buy my company are 45 years and older and have made 20 years. They crack the nut. Those are my customers. They want to buy a gallon of shampoo and they don't want to pay more than 15 bucks. They want to do basically, 100 customers out of that gallon for the 15 bucks. They don't want to spend $65 for some shampoo that has nanotechnology that nobody understands anyway, but they want to sell nanotechnology for $64 a quart. How does anybody afford that and stay in business? I don't know. But that's the organics. I'm very leery on organics because I don't know what you may be allergic to, because you're organic. I can give you a list of 35 plants from hibiscus to, these poinsettias that are oleanders that are, you don't want to touch. They're poisonous. You don't want to eat them. You got to be careful with the sap. They're lovely, as long as Christmas time comes, and as soon as they're over, ka-ching, in the trash they go, because there's some health issues. You don't want the dog or the cat to eat it. Kills poor Fido or Fluffy. So you got to be very recognize chemicals, like silicone. Silicone, you swallow silicone, it's like swallowing a marble. Passes right through you. It just works. Silicone, when I was a kid, silicone was silly putty. Everybody used it, it bounced off the balls. Who thought we could make silicone chips out of it and make a computer industry? Silicon Valley. One of the nice products about it was we can also make it into liquid, spray it on your hair. It is shiny as can be. We also use it for polishing our floors, polishing our cars, polishing billiard balls, golf balls, bowling balls. It's a great shiner, but it sucks up moisture. It also, pulls some moisture out of the hair. So it happens to have that unique ability. But it's a shiner. It's a great product for shining. One of the nicest parts that we have is we're selling you products to destroy your hair, so we can sell you more products to fix what we just destroyed. You can't ask for a better gimmick than that in my business. Any other questions?
The keratin straightener, human hair protein keratin.
Once upon a time, I remember watching a TV program with Eric Stossel. Eric Stossel was at the Long Beach Hair Show, and he asked one of the guys down there, I think it was a Joico company, about using human hair keratin protein. Now it's the buzzwords. Everybody loves human hair keratin protein, or keratin protein. They dropped off the human hair part because I think Eric Stossel pinned this guy down. And the sales guy down there basically said something about, what's more natural? Human hair is better than animal protein or vegetable protein. And they were the only guys who used it, I guess, at the time. And Eric Stossel, in Eric Stossel way, if you've ever watched, he was on 2020, well, where do you get it? And the guy did not know. And he made the mistake of making up something really cool by going, we get it from people in third world countries. Wrong thing to say. Meanwhile, the African American community went crazy, the Hispanic community went crazy, the Chinese community went crazy. Everybody's trying to figure out, who in the world are you referring to get human hair keratin protein from? Well, the reality was everybody buys it from the Croda chemical company, great chemical company for proteins, by the way. Everybody uses it. They sell keratin protein, and it's animal protein, bovine. It resembles, looks like molecularly, it's the closest thing to human hair protein that there is. If you could, how many heads of hair would you think you'd have to shave on somebody to put in a bucket for a third world country to begin with? Would you have to cook to get a 55-gallon drum that I could use? I mean, you'd have to shave half the world, I think. But it's bovine. That was where they got it, which is fine. It worked. It was animal protein. Keratin protein, again, became the buzzword with Brazilian something or another. What is that company? Brazilian
Blowout.
Blowout. Thank you. I keep wanting to say barbecue. I like that. It's a good restaurant, by the way, if you ever go there. And they use, there's a lot of protein in South America, as everybody knows. I mean, they're probably the largest meat producers around. So they have a lot of protein to get rid of, and it's cheaper than trying to use the soy, wheat, you name it, protein, the vegetable protein that we're currently marketing, because we want to have something vegetable. We want something that PETA doesn't get upset with. And but animal protein fell out of favor years ago. Now it came back in, and we just say keratin protein. Most people don't know where the protein comes from. They don't care if it comes from pigs, cows, horses, hoofs. Nobody even asks if it's kosher. It's just protein, and as soon as you say keratin, it's animal. We throw it in, and we can put it in at a higher percentage than we can at vegetable, which is very expensive. So you put this in at 1%, you can put vegetable protein in at 4 or 5 for the same price. And that's where the vegetable protein or keratin protein now became a buzzword. No one seems to care here in California, at least my PETA don't go crazy about, oh, that's animal protein, you're putting, no animal testing, but animal products. Kind of a unique, but it sells. And you know what, it's beautiful. I guess nobody wants to mess with the ladies if it's beautiful. So PETA kind of leaves you guys alone when it comes to animal products. If it were a guy thing, I mean, they'd be all over us picketing the place by using animal products in something or another. But that's where we have keratin proteins today. It's just another animal product. It's a good product, by the way. We've used it for a million years ago, then dropped it when it fell out of favor about the 1960s, 70s, and haven't used it since. But it's a good question. Any other questions?
What do you use instead of the detergent in the shampoo? The new trend? I'm kind of interested.
The new trend are called sulfonates. They're kind of not quite into the detergent category. And that's what we're looking at as replacement. We call them secondary surfactants. And they give a nice foam, a nice lather, but they're not part of the detergent family. They're relatives. So it's kind of how that plan will work. So we're experimenting with that so people can have the advertisement detergent-free. So,
but it's still a chemical, and it's still part of the salt. Yeah,
salt is a chemical. Pepper is a chemical. Preservatives are a chemical. But the funny thing is what chemicals you like and what chemicals you don't. Client came in last week and wanted to make sure that I could make him a shampoo, without parabens. Everybody knows that, parabens are bad, I guess, if you have paraben-free. Well, of course we do. We make shampoos paraben-free. What's unique about parabens? If you go to Crest and buy toothpaste, Crest buy mouthwash, they use parabens for preservative. I guess you can brush your teeth with it, gargle with it, but you can't put it on your hair. I don't understand. But then again, it's where the advertisement is. No one ever says to a dentist, is your shampoo, is your toothpaste paraben-free? No, it's Crest. Who cares? You've been using it for a zillion years. Look at toothpaste. Read the ingredients. It's got parabens, and they're great.
Sorry, a lot of questions. We used to buy flat irons for $19.99, and it got to 450 degrees and it flat ironed your hair. Now they are $100, $150. Still gets to 450 degrees and still flat irons your hair.
Correct.
Whoa, what's the big deal? Just marketing?
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
Blow dryer's the same.
Uh-huh.
You need a certain amount of temperature to get your hair dry or whatever. And
That's it. You got it.
$10, $40.
But I can make more profit. Okay, let's go with profit. If I were in the shampoo business, and here's where you go, because I am in the shampoo business, what would you rather buy if you're in a salon or a beauty supply? I've got a bottle of shampoo, and I just paid $25 for it, which I'm going to sell to you for $50. I'm making $25 gross profit, which is a 50% margin. Very nice. Everybody's happy. Or I buy a shampoo that's $7, I sell for $14. I make 50% margin, but I made $7. $7, 25. What am I going to sell you when you walk in the door? Ma'am, I got the best shampoo in the world. Buy this. I'm making $25. That's where I'm going with that. I got a flat iron for $12. I got a flat iron for $100. Where am I going to steer you first? It's just like walking into a jewelry store. You guys are getting married? That's wonderful. Let me show you the diamond rings that are 1 carat. And then you figure out how much the guy's willing to spend. If I can see his face, and they go, I got a ½ carat. Oh man, the guy's a 1/4 carat cheekbone. I feel sorry for that poor lady. But they got to start somewhere showing the good stuff first. You walk into their car dealer. What do they show you? One that's fully loaded, top of the line, got everything, including power windows, power seats, power steering, power. The word power. Oh, it'll talk back to you. You talk to it. It talks to you. It loves you to death. And it's only $67,000. And you came in for a Toyota Corolla. I know. They can make the most money. I can assure you, walk into a nail salon today, and everybody walks in, and it starts out, we'll do a manicure for 20 bucks. Oh, by the way, if you want this kind of polish, it's another 5. You want sprinkles, it's another 5. You want a drawing, it's another 5. You want this, it's another 5. By the time you upcharge, you got to get somehow more out of you. And that's the part in your business that you're going to learn to do. Upsell. Going back to Brazilian. The reason Brazilian got into trouble was the formaldehyde. They used a product combined with water that made formaldehyde in the mix. That's how they kind of got away with it. They created the formaldehyde by mixing 2 chemicals together, just like you do nitroglycerin. Glycerin, nitric acid, both are fine by themselves, won't explode. You combine them and you get nitroglycerin. They created formaldehyde in their product. And what happened was formaldehyde isn't bad by itself. You know, when you're in high school, you picked frogs up out of the formaldehyde juice and you smelled it and you got it over your fingers. It was fine. Formaldehyde doesn't kill you. It only kills you, by the way, when they inhaled it, because 450 degrees, they turned it into a smoke, a vapor. Your place stunk, whatever. And if everybody knows what happens with tobacco, you can take a cigarette and eat it. It's a vegetable. It's a tobacco leaf. It's not poisonous. It's what happens is when you inhale it, it goes right into the blood system. And that was the problem that was the problem. They turned it into a vapor. And that vapor was inhaled, went right into the blood system, and now you got a problem. In and of it by itself in the bottle, spilled on the floor, mopped up with your hands, put it on your skin. It was just a chemical. And formaldehyde isn't poisonous. You eat an apple, the salivas and the apple juice creates a small formaldehyde juice in your mouth. Not a problem. You eat apples, you create a little bit of formaldehyde, big deal. Body can accept that. But it's not when you inhale it. That is the issue of the flat ironing and the heat. So you got to be careful on what you're doing with the chemicals that we buy. Anyway, I got about 5 minutes before my time is up. Kids, do you have any other questions before? Oh, we have another question.
Gel and bubbles. They're beautiful.
My grandfather was one of the first companies in America to make styling gel. When B.F. Goodrich invented the Carbapol product, they came to us and his neighbor across the street. He made Dippity-Doo. Grandpa made improved gel. We still make it to this day. I probably make gel for a number of nice companies that are out there and invented a lot of different goos that are out there to this day, of which a lot of the boys in the barbershops like to buy. Thick and creamy, gooey gel, very gooey gel. It's just gel. It's Carbapol and water. But of course, as you know, in the gel business, B.F. Goodrich being a big company, can't have just 2 customers. They sold to everybody under the sun. So, 40 million people around the world can make styling gel. The trend was, now I think it's shifting back. First it was nice gel because it was very homogenized and very thick. Then you ladies wanted bubbles. So we put a restrictor on the valve and blew bubbles in it and everything was fine. And you saw bubbles in your gel and you're like, oh, this is cool, I got bubbles. Bubbles take up space. So if you have a quart bottle and you got 8 million bubbles, guess what? It's like ice cream with foam. It's creamy, but it takes up space. You want the dense packed ice cream that, hey, this stuff's heavy. That's the stuff you want really hard to scrape out. It's like a brick. Good stuff, not so good stuff, but it all depends. You wanted bubbles. Now, all of a sudden, you're realizing, why am I buying air? And you're going back to the pendulum swinging back, so now we're taking the bubbles back out. Welcome to our marketing trends. And kiddo, this whole thing comes down to marketing. It's how we market to you. Realize that this business is one of salesmanship. Any shampoo you use will work. I can give your instructors name bottle anywhere under the sun, a conditioner, a hairspray, Aquanet, way to go, and guess what? They will make somebody look beautiful. That is your primary goal. If I can encourage you one thing, as much as your name shampoo has come up, I probably get 10 calls a week with companies and salons across America. I've even had a couple in Netherlands, a couple in Germany, who want to put their name on a bottle to try to avoid the fact where they design it in, do all that legwork, and then a year later, bango, it's in a store. So that's what we do all day for a living.
What about like color safe shampoos and because you can use different shampoos and like you can use a really cheap one that isn't color safe or whatever, and your hair's going to feel horrible. And then you use one that's color safe and it feels a little bit better. Is there a big difference?
we make adjustments. Realize that I'm like, being a chemist is one thing, but it's like being a cook. It's kind of like saying, I would like this to be gluten-free. I would like this to be low-calorie. I'm a chef. I can accommodate your personal hygiene needs. I need something that doesn't have oil. I can make those adjustments. If you want something that's color-treated, we can modify that formula to meet your need. What was color-treated in my mother's day, because she had those same things and she sat there in 1936 and throughout. Same questions came up because they colored their hair, they bleached their hair. Look how many starlets were out there with, you know, from Marilyn Monroe to you name it, looking absolutely dynamite gorgeous. Same questions were asked. Those chemicals work just as well then too. All we've done is make them suitable to your taste. And it's personal taste. For me, when I look at shampoos and how they're modified, it's the same question I would ask you in here. What is your favorite hamburger? And you would say? A veggie burger. That's okay. And I respect that. That's my perfect answer. I couldn't have picked a 1 in a million shots. What's your favorite hamburger? Those chemicals. So when you come in and you say, can you make me, it's just the blending to suit your personal need. The whole answer is can you sell it or market it? And oh, by the way, you got to do hair to make a living. Can you market it? Just like that poor lady. Okay, I'm going to tell you my cuticle softener story. Probably shouldn't, but I will. This is kind of one of the sins that I made because it addresses to you. I was in Artistic Nail in San Dimas, California, talking to Darren, the owner. In came a manicurist. And she picked up a bottle of, I won't tell you the name because everybody knows it, of cuticle softener. And I said to her, why are you buying that one? That's a great, oh, she says, I love it. I've been using it for 20 years. It's the best I've ever used. It is super nice. I said, why don't you use the Gable brand right next to it? It's $1.25 cheaper. And she says, it's junk. It hurt my feelings. And this is where I sinned and should have kept my mouth shut. I'm not using the name because we're being videotaped. And I said, that's my customer. Let's look at the ingredients. So I held the bottles up. Sure enough, they were identical ingredients. This was made on such and such a date. This was made on such and such a date. Smell. Same perfume in both. Oh, she put that right back on the shelf, grabbed the bottle of another product, and almost said that. And out the door she went, which was even more expensive. And I said to Darren, gee, I make that one too. Like I mentioned earlier in the lecture. 2 of them were colored, one was blue, one was pink, and the other 3 were white. They were all my product. And the only difference was what does the contractor like you want to pay, get for their commission? Whether it's $1.25 commission for selling it or double commission for selling it. How do they build a more luxurious name? Like, in case anyone's curious, how do we thicken shampoo? All we do is salt. Remember, it's a sulfate. Sodium chloride will thicken shampoo to make it as thick as you guys want it and think it's fine. You want it thinner, we take the salt out. You want it thicker, we put the salt in. And that's all we do. So when we're making a product for you, we make it to your taste. And you were my perfect example of it. I do appreciate your question. Very kind of you. On the floor.
So, Redken has a treatment before using firms to even out the porosity. So, I don't know if you would know what chemical it has to.
Redken's a good company, by the way. It's currently bought by the L'Oreal company. They're a French company, if you don't know. They bought it from the family. Well, there's a story. I'll tell you the story. It's cute. Jerry Redken long ago was a good friend of the family. He started out by making a product called Jerry Redken Products. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he lost that in a divorce with his first wife. Somehow he ended up going on with his life. He's in a grocery store, went to the salons and made the transition in, so you can buy it at grocery stores. He started another company called Jermac, if you've heard of that. And I believe that one was also lost, and that's in grocery stores to this day. He met a lovely lady named Paula Kent. Paula Kent Mahan, I think is her name. And Jerry Redken and them, they got together and made Redken. And they did another job getting the salon owners to buy it, getting everybody to use it, and then, of course, naturally, she ends up selling it to L'Oreal for about $400 million. So it was a big deal. And, of course, where's it at? It's in the grocery stores today. Steve, his son, Steve Redken, had, hey, let's do this again, Daddy, and they started Nexxus. And if you want to see a fight, talk to the Nexxus people and the Redken people because, we're Jerry Redding's most improved, better than Redken people because, you know, we're the latest thing that Daddy invented, you know. And so it's really kind of, you don't want to get those two salespeople in the same room. They hate each other, I think. But Steve still runs the Nexxus business. Jerry still had one more business in mind, and he went down to the Depp company and made LA look. By that time, you salon owners didn't want to try it anymore. I mean, you'd already been burned 4 times. Why would you buy another shampoo, try to design it in, get people to like it when it's going to end up in a grocery store? And if you go to Target today, they just went right to Target. Go to Target and you find LA Look, Jerry Redding's 5th company. Now, is Redken a good product? Absolutely a wonderful product. Is it made by L'Oreal? It's the 2nd largest chemical producer in the world, next to Procter & Gamble.
I wanted to know if you produce something anti-dandruff or
Well, dandruff is an easy thing. A lot of times we will make products that have something that kills bacteria, because dandruff is that part where, you know, you've got a little bit of bacteria growth on the hair. If you really want to be easy, like, you know, other than Head & Shoulders, which is a good product, you can use just a plain old chelating, stripping shampoo. Find something that you guys would say harsh, I say strong, and clean your hair. That's where detergent was primarily invented for. The Germans needed to clean their bodies, their feet, their soldiers, because they needed an effective fighting tool. And they wanted them to be clean. They didn't have to worry about adding stuff to it. They just made it stronger. So when I make a shampoo, I can make a regular shampoo and make it at 8% surfactant level, which is what most of the shampoos are on the market. Shampoo I can sell to school, which I bring in here, is 18%. It will clean, squeaky clean. And that's really all we're doing here. What can you get? How much meat can I put on the table? How much protein can I put on the table? Whatever you want to call it. I build something that absolutely cleans. I add more. I can afford to add more. And it's clean. Your hair and scalp are, you can do surgery by the time we're done tomorrow. But that's what we do. But yes, there are chemicals that you can add that will help kill bacteria if you're looking to make an 8% formula. Because you're looking for a different thing, a different feel. You want more lather, more bubbles. What I try to make when I sell shampoo for the old guys, you know, someday I hope you're all old guys. Most of the old people who do hair in the sink realize they want something that washes out really quickly because it's their water. That's money. They want something that doesn't have a lot of lather, not no lather like sulfate-free, but a decent amount so they have some sort of feel. Because clients want that feel. They want to feel like the old days, like soap. They want to, so we add a little bit of, you know, bubbles, but not a lot. So it rinses clean and quickly. Because you got to go down the sink. It's your faucet, your water bill, and today with the drought, I have no idea, you know, if the drought would have persisted even harder here in California, they may have said, okay, you hairdressers, you have to have everybody done in 30 seconds. You can't even do lather, rinse, and repeat in 30 seconds. What are you going to do to keep your clients? So it was an interesting question coming up. But we modify our shampoo for a specific market. And then I sell to everybody's dreams on the other side. And believe you me, because we do a lot of interesting things at my company that I find also fascinating. I make movie blood. You see blood in the movies like ER or Vampires or whatever, Perfect Storm, with the fish all have blood in it. I make the movie blood. We do products with Joanne Guerra, who paint the Sports Illustrated girls. She's a wonderful customer. The Westmores, who do Star Trek. Nice people come in. Young boy that the son of Michael Westmore is just a gentleman's gentleman. But we do a lot of those things, which are kind of fun to do. But I try to make performance products that actually do something as opposed to a glamour product, which we tell you does something and you believe it. If you see the difference. Okay, good question. One more question.
What kind of product do you make other than shampoo?
Shampoos, conditioners, hand lotions, cuticle softeners, aftershave, styling gel, face cream, cold cream, you know, the hot soapy foam that comes out of the lather machines that barbers shave you with. My grandfather invented that stuff. Oh gee, where else? I make, you know, like I say, movie bloods, cleaners, nail polish removers. That stuff. The list goes on. I guess I got about 150
Nail
SKUs.
polish need to, but not nail polish.
I don't do polish. There's only 2 companies in America that make the polish. They're both in New Jersey. I think one's Krevko, the other's Kirker. Most people out here buy it. Whether you're, a Vietnamese salon, you buy a bucket of it, and the little girl fills up those bottles and then puts the brushes in them and then sticks them on the shelf for 50 cents. There's only 2 companies. There's only 3 companies that make lipstick, if I understand, in America. And they make all the brands that you normally use. I mean, what else can you do with, it's petrolatum and mineral oil and whatever else we want to put in color. It's lipstick. It's, you won't use mineral oil on anything, but you'll put it on your mouth because, again, it's, you can swallow it all day long. It's not organic, and so it won't hurt you. And like a lot of hospitals used to give mineral oil and before they do their lower GI, so it passed right through you. Again, non-organic, so it's not harmful.
And then one more. And what's the minimum price if I want my own product?
Well, if you're going to come to me or anyone in the United States, the smallest, it's priced based on the amount of product we have to produce. My smallest tanks are about 100 gallons. I have some 100-gallon tanks that we do for test batches, where people want to come out and try it, put their feet in it. And for 100 gallons, you figure, well, it's $8 a gallon, you got $800, you're out the door. Now, if you want it in a different size, well, then you have to divide it by 4 instead of having 800. Now, you got, times 4 times pints, pint 8 ounce, and it's weird because we'll make shampoo for every reason under the sun. I even make a shampoo so strong it'll wash marijuana and cocaine out of the hair, and the guy makes a fortune on that.
How many companies do you manufacture for?
27.
27.
Anyway, thank you very much for coming, kids. Have a good day.